Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, so we're jumping right into a really fascinating parable today that tackles something I know so many of us struggle with. You know that feeling of waking up and just feeling totally trapped in the daily grind? We're going to follow this timeless story of a village sculptor to figure out exactly why presence improves your work, and honestly, not just your work, but your whole mindset.
It starts with a pretty heavy but absolutely universal question. Have you ever just woken up, looked in the mirror, and genuinely asked yourself, am I actually living right now, or am I just functioning like a machine, just trapped on this endless track, repeating the exact same mechanical motions day in and day out?
It's kind of the ultimate modern paradox, right? Because from the outside, hey, everything looks perfectly fine. You're doing the work, you're handling your responsibilities, checking off the to-do list, and then falling asleep totally exhausted. But internally, there's this strange, almost unexplainable void, a total emptiness.
So part 1, the daily machine, the story of a Jay.
Let's look at a Jay's mundane, incredibly repetitive routine. At 6 a.m., boom, he's up drinking tea. During the day, he's at the workshop just mindlessly hitting stones. And at night, he's sitting there all alone, completely drowning in regret over past mistakes or just consumed by anxiety about the future. His physical body was technically there in the present, sure, but his mind, it was constantly time-traveling anywhere but the current moment.
And here's the kicker. Despite his external success, he was actually well known. Ajay was totally overwhelmed by this profound inner emptiness. It got so bad that one day he actually sought out a visiting wise saint, this guy known for understanding the deep mysteries of life. Ajay literally broke down crying. He confessed that, yeah, he had the fame, he had the steady work, but inside, he felt completely dead. He was just going through the motions of his craft, completely disconnected from it.
Which brings us to part 2. The mentor and the metaphor.
Now, instead of just tossing out some generic advice, the saint did something brilliant. He placed a glass hourglass right in Ajay's hand, and he delivered this unforgettable realization. He said that every falling grain of sand is a moment of life that will never, ever return. He told Ajay, just watch the grains of sand slipping down, one by one. You can't stop them, you can't catch them and push them back up to the top. They just fall, silently and continuously. And that is exactly like the time we are given in this life.
This completely shatters the core illusion that, honestly, we all suffer from. The saint pointed out that humanity's absolute biggest flaw is operating under this wild assumption that our time is abundant and endless. Because we think we have forever, we just let our minds wander away from the work that's sitting right in front of us. We totally forget that once a moment passes, it's gone for good.
Part 3, the 3 bitter truths.
The saint identified 3 very specific psychological hurdles that were actively destroying not just Ajay's work, but his peace of mind too. Number 1, a complete absence of mind. Number 2, a paralyzing fear of failure. And number 3, the absolutely exhausting trap of comparison. Let's actually break these down a bit.
So, diving into that first truth, the absolute necessity of being fully present in the exact moment you're in. The saint told Ajay, look, when you make a statue, your hands are on the stone, but your mind is miles away on tomorrow's worries. And this right here perfectly isolates why presence improves your work. Think about it. When your mind is split from your physical actions, your work just becomes hollow. Real life and real quality in your craft only happens right now, in the current moment. By bringing your focus back to your hands, the work instantly becomes richer, way more intentional.
Moving on to the second truth, which really confronts how Ajay had just stopped innovating. He stopped taking risks with his art because he was terrified of failing. The saint noticed that Ajay was basically just mass-producing the exact same old, safe designs. He wasn't carving anything new. The profound takeaway here is that true development, real growth in literally whatever you do, sits firmly on the other side of fear. You have to be willing to strike the stone in a completely new way.
And finally, the third truth. This one urges us to stop looking sideways at what everyone else is doing and instead focus entirely on our own internal growth. The saint instructed Ajay to stop comparing himself to other sculptors or villagers. I mean, the only valid competition you really have with who you were yesterday, right? Whether you're a sculptor hitting rocks or sitting at a desk typing emails, this mindset shift removes all that bitter envy from your work and replaces it with a super healthy drive for personal mastery.
Part 4. Work transformed by presence.
So what happened? Immediately the next day, Ajay completely rewired his approach to life and work by following a few simple, highly mindful steps. He woke up, but this time he dropped the complaints. None of it. He expressed gratitude to nature.
And this is the most crucial part. When he picked up his chisel and hammer, he poured 100% of his awareness into the exact millisecond the metal struck the stone.
And guys, this is exactly why presence improves your work. It creates total mental alignment. The old way for Ajay was this fractured state of being, right? His hands were doing one thing, his brain was off doing another, but the new way brought everything into a single unified focal point. The physical energy of the hammer strike was finally fully matched by his mental energy.
By pouring his full awareness into each and every strike of the chisel, this miraculous shift actually occurred in the physical quality of his art. Gradually, the statues transformed. It was like they gained a unique glow, a distinct liveliness. It wasn't just some neat psychological trick for Ajay in his head. The physical output improved so drastically that the villagers actually started saying his statues now possessed a soul. That right there is the ultimate proof of why presence matters. It translates directly, visibly, into the quality of your craft.
But honestly, here is the most amazing part of the whole story. Ajay didn't need a new job. He didn't move to a new village. His workshop was exactly the same. The stones were the same. The tools were the same. The only thing that changed was his perspective. It was his willingness to just drop the burden of the past and the fear of the future and choose instead to live with complete, laser-focused awareness in the present moment.
So, I want to leave you with this really powerful final thought to carry into your own daily routine. I want you to consider the soul and the presence that you are bringing to your own craft. The Saint's lesson reminds us that the true measure of a life isn't found in how long we live, but in how deeply we experience the moments we actually have. So, when you pick up your tools today, whatever they may be, a chisel, a laptop, a paintbrush, ask yourself, are you just striking the stone to pass the time, or are you present enough to give your work a soul?